welcome back to my channel. Welcome to day 20 of VEDA. In this video, we are going to use Goodreads, my little handy dandy friend, to look at the worst books I've read according to Goodreads, and I'm gonna talk about these books and just see if I agree or disagree. Read, boop, 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 and go to average rating, and here we are. The first worst book, according to Goodreads, is rated at 2.71, which is pretty low. It's Beautiful Broken Girls by Kim Savage. Oh my gosh. This was a thriller in which a lot of gross stuff happens. So I thought it was very gross. I think I rated it 1 star. I did rate it 1 star. I really didn't like it. It didn't make sense to me, and I can't really give you a whole synopsis about it because it was just weird. But I think, if I remember correctly, that it follows this girl who's in high school who gets attacked, and then weird stuff starts happening. You're not sure if it's paranormal or if she's going crazy or if someone's really out to get her. But it sounds better than it was. Okay, the next one is The Pursuit of Miss Heartbreak Hotel by Mo Bonawoo. I remember that cover. And apparently I give it 2 stars, and the average rating is 2.87 stars. But I don't remember a single thing about it. Here, let me click on it and see. It might be a young adult contemporary. Yeah, I don't know. The Pursuit of Miss Heartbreak Hotel is a story about sexuality, family, heartbreak, old habits you can't quite shake, and first love you never see coming. I really have no memory of this book at all. Then we have They All Fall Down by Rachel Howes Hall, which is a 2.90 average. I rated it 2 stars. So far I'm agreeing with most of these. This one has the amnesia trope, and it follows this young girl. I think she's like 16. So it follows this girl who is murdered, or I think she's murdered. Let's see. It was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime. Delighted by a surprise invitation, Macy sails off to a luxurious private island off the coast of Mexico with 6 strangers: an ex-cop, a chef, a financial advisor, a nurse, a lawyer, and a young widow. Surrounded by miles of open water in the glorious green sea of Cortez, Macy is shocked to discover that she and the rest of her companions have been brought to the remote island under false pretenses. And it kind of is like a spin on And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, but it was done very poorly. How many is that? That's 3? Okay, we'll do the first 10, maybe. The next one is 16 Ways to Break a Heart by Lauren Starznick. It's a 2.91 average rating, and I give it 4 stars. So I actually do remember this novel a little bit. It's your typical young adult contemporary romance. I mean, it is a romance, but like, I don't know. It's young adult. I don't think that I would like it today because I don't really like reading young adult novels anymore. But when I read this, I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm kind of interested to see why it's got such a low rating, actually. I'm going to look. So, my review of this book back in 2019. This book is addictive. From falling in love to the big breakup, there are two sides to every story, and you get to read all of it. Plus, an added bonus, it's written in letter, IM, and texting format. So you get to read in multiple people's perspective. Okay. Let's see. I want to see some of the reviews of why other people didn't like it. There aren't a lot, though. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm no longer into Taylor Swift's music like I used to be, but 1989 was the last album of hers I liked. Okay. Okay, yeah, I don't know. But no one really likes it. I don't think it would still hold up today, but I used to like it. Okay. The next one, for the worst of the worst, is Even If We Break by Marie Ninchkamp, and I know that I'm probably butchering her name, I'm so sorry. It has a 2.95 average rating. I gave it 1 star, and I do remember this one because it was when I was getting into the horror genre, which was last year and this year, but I think I read this one last year. It's pitched as this, like, night in the woods, it's pitched as, like, this camping story with 6 teenage friends get isolated and something creepy happens. The problem for me was that there was too much going on. It was trying to be a romance. It was trying to be a horror novel. It was trying to have representation for the LGBT, plus for person of color, plus disability, and it felt like, all of the representation that you can find in books, it felt like all that was just written and then plopped into a book, and it just didn't work for me. It wasn't scary because it was focusing too much on the romances and the relationships, but then those were so lacking that it wasn't really a romance. It was just a bunch of teenagers trying to go to the woods. They get isolated and then they get to have, get in trouble like teenagers are going to. Like, it just didn't work for me at all. Okay. Then the next lowest is The Last to Die by Kelly Garrett. This has a 2.97 average rating. I gave it 3 stars. So I didn't hate this one. I kind of feel very neutral about The Last to Die. It's a young adult slasher, but I use slasher very loosely. I can't remember if it's haunted house and slasher or just slasher, but it was kind of bland, kind of unmemorable, and I just didn't really care for the characters, so it was okay. I gave it 3 stars. That's not terrible, but I'm never going to think about it again or reread it. Okay, so Me and Me is the story in which Lark goes to celebrate her birthday with her boyfriend in this canoe. They are, having a fun time until she hears bloody murder screams. And then there's like this storm, and she basically is in this situation where she can jump in and save Annabelle, the little girl that she used to babysit, or she can jump in and save her boyfriend. But she doesn't have time to save both of them. And this kind of goes through like what would have happened if she saved the Annabelle and what would have happened if she saved her boyfriend, and how both decisions will change her life. I actually was very intrigued by the concept, but I thought the writing was a little bit flat. But I enjoyed it to an extent, so I give it 3 stars, Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas with an average rating of 3.1 stars. I gave this one 1 star. So Catherine House is this isolated school setting, and this book just describes Catherine House and events that have happened there, but I was so bored and so confused. So I really didn't like this, but I know that a lot of people like Kayla have loved this book. That's kind of why I read it, but I do not agree with her on this one. No. Let's see if I wrote a review of it or not. I most certainly did not, probably. Oh, nope. No, I didn't, so I can't tell you, but anyways. Okay, so we have 2 more left. 17th Summer by Maureen Daly has a 3.12 average rating. I rated it 2 stars. So this is a classic, and I'm just not a classic reader, and that's really what it came down to. It has a very modern cover, or at least like this one does. I didn't think it was a classic, but it's like This Summer to Remember. And it's a classic. I don't like classics. So let's see. Angie always thought high school romances were just silly infatuations that come and go. She certainly never thought she would fall in love over one short summer. But when she meets Jack, their connection is beyond any childish crush. Suddenly, Angie and Jack are filling their summer with stolen moments and romantic nights. It was just boring and terrible, and I'm sorry. The last one for the top 10 worst books according to Goodreads that I've read is If I Disappear by Eliza Jane Brazier with a 3.15 average rating. I gave this one 2 stars. And it was on my pile of shame for a very long time, and I finally finished it this year. So in this one you follow this girl who is trying to find a missing podcaster. This podcaster just stopped doing podcasts, and apparently she re-listens to all the podcasts that this lady has done, and she basically is just like, oh, well, you said if you ever went missing to look here, and so I'm coming to find you. That sounds amazing, but this book is so anticlimactic. Like, it had such a great build-up. The first, 50 pages was very atmospheric and I was engaged with the character, and I'm like, ooh, okay, I want to know what happened to this podcaster. And then it went downhill. And nothing happened. It was very boring, very anticlimactic, and just, yeah, I didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars. I really did. The potential was there in the first, like, 50 or 60 pages. It was so good, and I was intrigued, and then just it all fell apart. So those were the worst books I've read according to Goodreads. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single day of VEDA in August. And I will see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Bye!